If you are a coach, athlete, or fitness enthusiast, you are going to want to understand how PMS impacts sports performance. Before I dive into today's video, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and click that red bell to be notified every time I post a new video on menstrual cycle health, nutrition, and fitness. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Omega Zumpano. I am an exercise scientist and menstrual cycle educator. And I used to have PMS that way impacted my training. But now I live PMS free, and I know it's possible for everybody in the world, including you and your clients. So let's dive in. First things first, this incredible article published in 2020 by Bruinvels et al. Followed 6,000 athletic women using the Strava app. And they found that 90% of those women suffer from PMS that impacts their sports performance. Not good. Do those numbers really quick with me. If you're a personal trainer and you have 10 clients, 9 of those clients have PMS. And if you're thinking, my clients don't have PMS, maybe they don't have PMS because you're not asking them. One of the most common PMS symptoms reported in this study was mood changes and anxiety. This was actually most common for me too. And it sucked. Big, fat ovaries. So here's some ways anxiety and mood changes can impact sports performance. Firstly, you just feel crappy because with anxiety-oriented PMS, that's what happens. And with anxiety-oriented PMS, a person, your clients, can also suffer from body dysmorphic thoughts, especially if that's in their history. Think food restriction and negative self-talk. Even the phrase, I feel so fat, I ate an entire thing of ice cream, can clue us as personal trainers in to potential hormonal issues at play. Anxiety's role in sports performance can also decrease an athlete's confidence, or it can affect one's personal belief to actually hit a workout hard. Get this. Mood can also be affected by sleep. Towards the end of the menstrual cycle, right before we start to bleed, progesterone's dip can actually lead to sleep disturbances. And that results in less muscle recovery and fat metabolization, because we all know as personal trainers that muscle recovery and fat metabolization happens mostly while we sleep. So here's how to address this, especially if you're a coach. Give your clients a plan of action when mood and anxiety crops up in their cycle. The first option is exercise variation. If a client comes in a really low state of mind, varying exercise intensity to be a little bit lower when PMS strikes can work in 2 ways. And by the way, this usually happens 10 to 14 days before someone starts their period. 1, it can build more self-efficacy and help them know that they're getting to their goals without actually pushing themselves and grueling through a workout every single day. Secondly, and most important, it capitalizes on the fact that muscle recovery and fat utilization hormones, estrogen and testosterone, are actually lower when we have PMS. So your client that suffers from this actually has less capacity to grow muscle, heal muscle tissue. So we're supporting all of those facts when we decrease the overall exercise intensity. Also, studies like this 2021 study by Willett et al. Showed that when a person is in their luteal phase, that's when PMS strikes, that we actually utilize more fat for energy because of our hormonal status. So when you decrease intensity, you're actually working in an exercise intensity range where your client can burn more fat. But on top of that, her hormones are also favoring burning more fat. Now let's move to the second PMS symptom that they listed in this article. That's increased appetite. But if you ask me, increased appetite isn't necessarily a PMS symptom, as it is a byproduct of the luteal phase. In the luteal phase, we actually have a higher basal metabolic rate, so we're going to need more calories just to maintain our walking around in the world and exercise if we're doing that. Here's what an increased appetite could do for sports performance. Overall, an increased appetite can actually result in an increase in sports performance because your client has more fuel to work with. But conversely, if your client is depleted and she goes for that ice cream or pizza or donuts, she is going to feel crappy for a while, maybe crappy about herself, crappy about the way she feels, or crappy about the way she looks, which could then impact her ability to show up. So here's how you can handle that as a coach. Let her know that an increase in appetite is totally normal for where her hormones are, and advise her to eat more. Identify what food she really likes to eat during this time, and encourage her to eat the things that she wants in an amount that feels good to her body and aligns with her goals. Before I continue on, go ahead and leave me a comment telling me what you crave more before your period starts. Are you a sweet person or are you a salty person? Next most common PMS symptom that can impact sports performance is breast tenderness. Breast tenderness can be a result of a higher sodium to potassium ratio. I made a whole video on how to counteract breast tenderness, and you can check that out here, but I'll review some things in this video as well. Breast pain can impact sports performance because when you have sore boobs and you try to do anything athletic, your boobies are gonna be talking to you. I used to have breast pain so bad that wearing a sports bra was painful. Now, considering breast pain is partially a nutrition issue, you can actually help your clients by advising them to get more nutrition that counteracts breast pain. Both myself and my clients have used a nutritional approach to help decrease breast pain. And the nutrients that we are lacking, which I already said, is potassium. So sources high in potassium include citrus, melons, date, prunes, cooked broccoli, spinach, and avocado. And again, I did a detailed video on this, and you can check it out in the description below. The last PMS symptom that can really impact sports performance is fatigue. Fatigue can be a result of progesterone's effect on the brain. When we enter our luteal phase, progesterone starts to rise, and the result of progesterone can sometimes be a feeling of lackluster to full-blown fatigue. This is your brain. This is your brain on progesterone. Putting this brain fatigue next to the fact that estrogen and testosterone are also decreasing during this phase, it can have a dramatic impact on energy and overall muscle recovery. So when your client comes to you complaining of fatigue, particularly around the menstrual cycle, you as a coach can support her by reducing the overall workout capacity so that her body has to deal with less muscle damage and free radical cleanup. You as a health professional that cares about her can also ask her if she can go to bed earlier, if she can take naps, or if she can sleep in later. Your client's hormonal health is a part of her overall health. And since you as a coach are being hired to help her address her health, I know that your client is going to be so grateful that you have this knowledge to help her reduce PMS. And if you want to go from not really understanding how the hormones work to being an expert in your community so that you can help your clients not only reach their fitness goals, but help them optimize their hormones so that they can be their best in every area of life, go ahead and apply for the Menstrual Cycle Health, Nutrition, and Fitness program. The application process is simple. All you have to do is click the link in the description box below and choose a time to talk with me. In our talk, I'll ask you more application questions, and together we'll decide if you're a fit for this program. And I have to say, most people aren't a fit for this program. But if it sounds like you are, I'll tell you more about the program, how it all works, and then you and I can decide if working together is a fit for both of us. Again, start that application process using the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and watch this video next on updated research for the menstrual cycle. I'll see you there. Bye.